Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get to Know Bob. I am your host, Sonia Weaver. I am excited for another opportunity to be here and have an amazing conversation with some phenomenal Bobs that are doing amazing things within our communities. And this week we will have another phenomenal conversation. I am just stoked and excited about it. Now, for me, I'm going to tell you, this week feels like today is Friday. I don't know what is in the air, what is going on. I have not been able to get the, pep in my step. I've just been ready to snooze all week. And it is only Wednesday. What is going on? So I'm going to need y'all to have some comments coming on in the chat. Get me pumped up because we're going to have a great conversation this evening. Can you get excited? And because I have such an action-packed show for this tonight, I am just going to make sure I get right on in it. I have a guest that's going to be coming in doing a pop-in. I love our pop-in guest, going to be emphasizing some amazing things that are happening during our Stay Connected segment. Then we're going to get right on in with our featured business of tonight's show. So we're going to kick it off with, what did you do this weekend? I know it was Mother's Day weekend. And I will tell you, I had a phenomenal Mother's Day. I know it can be filled with so many mixed emotions. We have people who have mothers that are no longer with us. We have people whose children are no longer with them. And so it is difficult for them to celebrate Mother's Day because their child is not there. And, I offer all definitely those condolences for that. For us as a family, this is where we spent our time after church, because those who know me know that my maternal grandmother, who was 105 years old, she died in September. And this was our first Mother's Day without her. So, it was bittersweet, but we did have an amazing time at the gravesite. They have planted seeds and laid the hay to allow the grass to grow. We did a balloon release. We shared some special stories. Surprisingly enough, my brother is able to speak like my grandmother. I mean, like the whole slang and tone, and it was just a phenomenal afternoon. So I hope that you had a fabulous Mother's Day. After which, we supported Bob. And those who are in the Detroit metropolitan area probably can recognize this cornerstone place. It is Bert's, and I am going to just kind of give you a glance so you can know what, if you're not from here, kind of what she looks like. It is a phenomenal place located in our Eastern Market area in Detroit, and you can get you some ribs, you can ballroom, you can have some jazz, you can have comedy shows. It's like the whole little strip has a variety of different entertainment. I think they even had a little boutique shop if it's still open. So it's definitely a place for you to visit. It is coming into summer season. We're here in Metro Detroit. We have our festivals and our outdoor jazz series. So you would definitely want to add Bert's to your list. Come on and support Bob when you're coming to visit Metro Detroit, Michigan. Can you get excited? So yes, for us, Mother's Day was a wonderful time, and I hope it was for you as well. Getting into the deal of the day, I had the opportunity to go out today and visit the phenomenal glam doctor. Yes, Miss Rashida herself. I had an amazing time spending with her and got some goodies. So yes, here's some pictures I took while there. You see the glam doctor symbol in the back. Be beautiful, be well. And you see, I'm excited. Got your gifts right here. waiting to give them away. So you know how I am. I love me some goodies. I love me some Glam Doctor. My lips are popping, although they're subtle. They're still popping, and they're popping with a trio. Actually, I have two of the Glam Doctor on, and the gloss on top that I use to kind of restore them for the show is by Tontis. So you know I have some of my faves here, and I just felt like I'm going to give these away to one of our viewers. So how do you get the gift if you're viewing this evening? Of course, you just do our 3 simple steps. Now, you either you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So if you're already a subscriber, then you've already met the step 1. It goes for you too. Like and follow us on social media. If you already have liked and follow us, then you already done step 2. Step 3, all you need to do is share 5 of our Get to Know Bob episodes with someone and tag us so we know that you shared them. We have been speaking with phenomenal people, so why wouldn't you share them? Okay. And for doing that, the first person to say that they've completed the steps by sending us an email to info@dealswithbob can have some popping lips themselves from the Glam Doctor. Get excited. Why don't you? Okay. So yes, those 3 easy steps. And again, if you already have step 1 and 2 complete, you should be winning gifts every single week because all you need to do is share and share and share. So you have 7 days to do it from today until next week. After that, this deal is dead. Okay. Now, going into our featured nonprofit for the month. Our featured nonprofit for this month is Urban Unity. It is the month of May where Foster Awareness Month is our topic. And Urban Unity creates a safe haven for children and families within the foster care system. Their vision is every child impacted by foster care to be empowered and equipped to reach their fullest potential, fully capable of living out the very best versions of themselves. They provide programs to give foster parents and children the tools and resources needed to help them live more healthy, happy, fulfilled lives. They focus to educate, empower, equip, and expose. Their core values, their passion is passionate about increasing quality of life, trust. They establish trust so they can more effectively bring forth change. Empathy. They're empathetic to all circumstances that they encounter. And support. They provide support and stand as a safety net. You can see why Urban Unity is our May featured nonprofit this month. Make sure you check them out. Our featured business for tonight's show is Tranquility Christian Counseling. Let's take a moment to see what they do. And you know that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, a time to wear awareness of and reduce the stigma surrounding behavioral health issues, as well as highlighting the ways how mental illness and addiction can affect all of us, patients, providers, families, and our society at large. Tranquility Christian Counseling is seeing new patients. They are here to support all challenges, not just mental health, but we know that behavioral health is something that is rising amongst us all. And it's not just the ones that we know when we say people have cognitive impairments or autism or the such. People are suffering from depression. People are suffering from other things that they get withdrawal, postpartum, all of these different things where that is considered a behavioral health issue. So it impacts us all. And Tranquility Christian Counseling is here for you so that you can talk through the things that are bothering you and get healing. And that's what's most important. You do not have to suffer alone. That's why we wanted to make sure we featured Tranquility Christian Counseling during the month of May. Are you ready for our deals for our consumer members? Consumer members out there, if you are not a consumer member, I'm telling you now, you better join because we have some phenomenal deals waiting for you. And as we kick off the first deal, we have Detroit Metro Podcast offering 15% off their events. They have phenomenal networking events, and a little bit about that is going to be spilled later on in the show. Five Stone Digital is offering 10% off. Rise Up Host is offering 10% off. If you need a website, then you definitely want to get in touch with them. Here at Deals with Bob, we're offering 15% off premium services. And as we go through a rebranding, we are excited about all of the different webinars and collaborations of information we're going to have presented for you and available for you. So you will want to take advantage of getting an additional 15% off those downloads. And today's Smile is offering 50% off whitening. Now, you guys know I love to smile. And when you walk in the room and you smile, you want them to be white, don't you? So make sure you take advantage and support this amazing Bob and get your 50% off your whitening. And if you are a business owner and you want to offer deals, discounts, giveaways, and rewards to our consumer members, please visit www.dealswithbob.com and join today. Now, how do you become a consumer member and how do you join the community here at Deals with Bob if you're a Black business owner? Simple, by going to www.dealswithbob.com. If you're a consumer member, you want to click on consumer sign up and you would join that annual membership. If you are a business owner, you have the option of paying monthly or you can pay annually and get 1 month free. It will offer so much opportunity within the networking community once you join our community of like-minded business owners collectively working together to make impact for the community. Do you have your pen? Do you have your paper? We're getting ready to stay connected to make sure you know all about the phenomenal events going on through and out our community. If you didn't do so, check out last week's episode and conversation with the phenomenal Jessica Smith. I've already got several people who have contacted me to hook up with her and her services. I am so excited that we're going to be having conversation because people have reached out and said, well, what deal is she offering? You know, we have to have a follow-up conversation with Jessica so we can get her into the community. She's already excited about it, but we just have to make sure that we're working together collectively on both sides, and we'll have a deal coming to you very soon. The Energy Concert Series presented by Boss Entertainment and DJ Mr. Millennial, that is happening on tomorrow, May 18th at Harmony Cafe Suites and More in Dexter. Here's a little bit about that event.
And it is here, live, May 18th, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. The Energy Concert Series is presented by Boss Entertainment Group Detroit, Mighty Together Entertainment and DJ, Mr. Millennium Live at In Harmony Cafe Suites and More, the sweetest spot in Detroit, 12041 Dexter Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48206. This blockbuster event features host Sonia Weaver of Deals with Bob and a live performance from award-winning supergroup King Meloman and Mellow Runnings. We have food trucks, vendors, meet and greet, and more. All of this is free. Upgrade packages starting at only $5. For more information, contact Boss Entertainment Group Detroit at Barack and Roll on Facebook, at Bossy G Detroit on Instagram, or call 313-528-9677. For even more information, contact Mighty Together Entertainment at 313-510-6706. You bring the heat because we have the energy. See you Thursday, May 18th at 6:30 p.m. Boss approved.
Divalicious Enterprise is having a space tournament on Sunday, May 21st from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Divalicious Enterprise is having a network Wednesday after work mix and mingo, May 24th. Functified Full Circle and Butter P-Funk Concert 2023 with special guests, and it's hosted by Mona Lisa's Lyrics, Friday, May 26th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come get P-Funked. And we have a special guest popping in who is sponsoring the event. Hello, my darling. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? Good to
I
see you
am
again, Sonia.
awesome. I am awesome. Now, Miss Camille Franklin is here to share about this phenomenal event. So tell me more about it.
All right. It's going to occur Friday, May 26th, next couple of weeks. The Functified concert, okay, presented by Baseman Productions, but it's with Full Circle. So Full Circle has Paul Williams and his group in it, and they always do a phenomenal job. Butter will also be there. I will be one of the sponsors, and so I'll be giving away and presenting the entrepreneur, Women's Entrepreneur of the Year. This book about business. You know, if you don't know me, my name is Camille Franklin. I'm an enroll agent and owner of Tax Divas, located on Puritan in Illinois and Detroit. We offer tax practitioner services, bookkeeping, virtual CFO services. And it's just very important that you have your business in order when you're in business. You know, basically what's happened since COVID, it's been the year of resignation. You know, the big resignation is what they're calling it. So people
Right.
have resigned and they've been working. People may be doing Uber. You may be doing Turo with your car. You may be doing Airbnbs. You know, it's very important that you have your business in order when it comes to file your taxes,
Mhm.
because you may end up being in a bind if you don't. Record keeping is very important. So I'm the sponsor, and I'll be giving out my book, Tax Strategies for Small Businesses, um, which I can also, have one for your audience as well when needed. But this is what I'll be giving out. You know, it's a pretty comprehensive book about business. I did the part where it has to do with record keeping and importance of that, but there's everything about if you ever wanted to know about S corporations, if you ever wanted to know, about international dealings, things like that. You know, it's just a pretty comprehensive book. So we're there to have a good time. Again, it's Friday, May 26th. It's being hosted by Mona Lisa's Lyrics.
Mhm.
Phenomenal woman, Mona. Mona, she's a friend too. I know me and you, and
Yes.
so
Yes.
she does great, wonderful things in the community, honoring women and men, in
Right.
this Detroit area that have either done things with the community or are in business. And she just wants to honor people that are out here each and every day. You know, the regular person that may or may
Yeah.
not be getting that recognition. So we all are on that same wavelength. I have that same passion inside of me to want to give to people that are in the community giving. So I want you to come out. It's $35. It is at the Mary Grove Theater. The old Mary Grove, now they use it for theater work and things like that since the school is closed. I believe it's I think it might be like an elementary school in there, but generally they use it for theaters, and that's on 8425 West McNichols.
Yes.
Just
So
come
you guys
around.
make sure you mark your calendars and plan on supporting this phenomenal event. As Camille mentioned, yes, she has a plethora of hats that she wears. So I am so glad that she will be sponsoring this event and you'll be able to get her phenomenal book. I should have been here my due diligence, but go on to our Deals with Bob and scroll through because Camille was on this year and she was talking about her book and the parts in which she wrote in details. So make sure you check out that conversation. And you saw the little clip about tomorrow. So tomorrow, I failed to mention that the band performing is King Mellow Man and Mellow Runnings. So we hope you come out tomorrow night as well and have an opportunity to connect and network then.
Absolutely.
So, Camille, thank you for popping in on our
No
Stay Connected
problem.
segment. I look forward
Good
to
to
seeing you
see
soon,
you.
sweetie.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much and have a great day.
You too. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye.
Continuing on with our Stay Connected segment, we have our red dot bags that are being packed on Saturday, May 27th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. A Girl Like Me Incorporated presents a graduation giveaway. Come out and help A Girl Like Me founder Tyra Moore celebrate graduating from Schoolcraft College. Bring a bag or fill a bag on May 27th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Our Own Wall Street presents Big Sis, Auntie, Grandma, all of y'all. Why didn't you warn us about menopause? Hello, May 28th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Merchants Are Us and Divalicious Enterprise presents Business Shower Part 2, Business Elevation, Saturday, June 3rd from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Hello, Pittsburgh. Mona Lisa's Lyrics will be celebrating a mompreneur and a dadpreneur with lots of gifts on June 3rd and 4th. If you want to be a Bob that's contributing to this event, then you just contact Mona at 586-460-8981. Sandy's Land LLC presents Got Inspiration? This is going to be a wooden canvas paint party on June 11th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Detroit SIP. Detroit Book City is presenting Juneteenth Book Fair, Saturday, June 17th from 12:30 p.m. to 5 p.m., celebrating freedom through literacy. Our Own Wall Street's Juneteenth Gala, a night of jazz with special guest Sky Covington and keynote speaker Tanya R. Hill, happening on June 17th at 7 p.m. to midnight. Motor City Princess Ball, Sunday, June 25th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets are $47.12 per person. This is an informal event for girls ages 5 to 18. And let us support you and your event by adding it to our Stay Connected segment. Just visit www.dealswithbob.com and contact us today. Now, I hope you were able to get down all of the phenomenal things going on. My voice got really excited because I can't wait for some of these events. So make sure you have taken the time to mark your calendars to come on out and support Bob. Now, tonight's guest, can you get ready? Can you get excited? We're going to be speaking to the phenomenal Miss Tongie Kendrix-Bailey. Hello, Tongie, and welcome.
Welcome, Miss Sonia. How are you today?
I am doing phenomenal. Thank you so much for being on today. I am looking forward to having a very informative conversation with you. I don't know how many people that are watching tonight, and thank you for watching, that know about you. So I'm so excited to introduce you to them because I'm telling you, she is, if you don't know, a well-hidden gem. She has worked every single place, all over the place. So I'm sure there's a lot of people who do know you, but there's also those who don't. So what I do here on my show is I pass the baton over to you, giving you the opportunity to take as much time as you would like to self-introduce by sharing who you are, a little bit of fun about you, what you do, that is what you contribute, and then why. Why do you do what you do? So here's the baton.
Hi, my name is Tongie Kendrix-Bailey. I am the CEO and founder of Hezekiah Kidz. I started my organization because I am the mother who is living the blue journey with my son who is living with autism. So as being a mother, I found that I needed resources for myself, and I also met other parents that were struggling. to find resources for their children. And I felt that we needed to, kind of get the stigma out of the way and get the necessary resources, because my motto with my son is, you have a disability, but somewhere in there, there's an ability. So I started the nonprofit. It's been started probably about 10 years, but I've been actively working in it for the last 3 years, because after the pandemic and right before the pandemic, I saw a need for parents in the community to be informed on how to handle our children that's living with special needs. A fun fact about me is I'm an educator with Detroit Public Schools, been there many years. And I belong to the sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha, and I am really active in my church and my community.
Awesome. Awesome. And so, as we are in the month of May, as I told earlier, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. But like Britangia and I had an offsite conversation, every day is mental health awareness. It never goes away. Just like most other awareness, this is just a time for us to really shed a spotlight, make sure information is out there, that people understand. So we talked, at least I did in the beginning, that, mental health and behavioral health is a huge umbrella.
Yes.
Your specific area came from a personal area because you have a child. You mentioned autism. For those of you watching who may not know what that means, why don't you share with them for your particular area? Because like I say, autism is an umbrella. They say it's a spectrum because you never know where you might fall on it. And I would say what you think you may know about autism may vary, because who you know that has it can look very different from another person that has it. So please share.
When my son was about 4 years old, I used to have a job as an HR director. So I was always working and traveling. But one day my mom noticed that my son, he was kind of discombobulated, not knowing whether he was going to or there. However, my mother thought, you should get him checked out, because he didn't talk. He was kind of withdrawn. But before I really got in the public side, I wasn't a talker. And I think me and you met, and then I started a conversation with you. So I just thought maybe, okay, well, he's not talking. But then I said, okay, well, let me take my mother's advice, get him diagnosed. Come to find out he had autism, which is a imbalance with the brain. Some kids that have autism, my son wasn't verbal at first. So they think a little differently. They process information a little differently. And to be honest, some kids don't process information at all. Mm-hmm. So there's a wide spectrum. And I just thank God that I'm still getting resources for him. He's 17 years old now, to make this journey a little bit easier for me and myself. But as now I'm looking at my son, who's gone from 4 years old to now 17, which will be 18 next month, he tears over me, and he is 6'3". So now I have been very passionate about educating the community on how to handle children that's living with behavior issues, mental health issues, not just autism. Because if anything in the brain that's not connecting may look like disobedience to someone that's not aware of the child is functioning with the mental thing. So I tell people, my journey is not April. My journey with autism is 24/7, 365 days a year. So I bring awareness to the community. And right now, educating parents, and I'm out and about educating the community. I'm looking to work with some law enforcement so that we can start educating parents on how to educate their children on how to be successful and to be productive in society. Because we know our children are not always with us. And we want to teach them the basics. If someone says stop, to stop. It's just those basic skills, and getting the parents, because kids learn best from their parents. Getting the parents to install these in their kids and get more resources for them. Make sure they're doing what they should be doing within the kids' everyday life, so that they'll be successful in the community.
Yes, yes. And for those who don't know, I too have a son who's on the spectrum. And because he's highly cognitive, he's classified as Asperger's syndrome autism. And I always say, all you do is process information differently, or you just look at things and think of things differently. And sometimes, well, really most times, there's no right nor wrong, because he'll say something and I'll be like, how in the world did you see it from that viewpoint? And I'll remind him, this is why the world needs you, because we have been conditioned to almost kind of be a little robotic sometimes and see things the way they've been taught to us to see them. And because they don't always process what they are being told, but rather they see it from the truthness of however they process it, they're able to offer a new way. I would say maybe a hidden way, because once it's presented to me, I don't know about you, Ratanji, with your son, but my son has said something, and I'll pause and be like, okay, it's not like my way was wrong, but that's a whole nother way of seeing it. And I love that opportunity where, he's able to contribute in a fresh way. And the problem is that because we have been conditioned collectively to say, this is how it is done, when we have these beautiful, uniquely thinking children and young people, we want to kind of be like, oh, see, they're outside of what's normal. And I'm like, no, I always do this because they want to be like, they're not normal, or they don't think, or this. And it's like, no, it's really. So tell me, with you being in the education system, how are we trying to kind of somewhat change the normality when it comes to our special children?
You know what? I think as an educator, a mother, a community activist, a leader, I look at the kids with special needs. We can't just always pull them apart and just sit them here. We need to have them out and about in the community, so that they can get accustomed to doing things and being out. If you follow me on social media, when I move, my son moves. And I think we were at a mutual friends party. And I said, let me drop my son off at my parents' house. He said, no, for time you bring him on. So having the kids be out and about, being a part of the society and the community really helps them to grow and advance. And it also teaches them those social skills the kids with autism miss. Like, my son, he's not very outgoing, but because I take him out, he knows how to socialize and mingle. He may get tired and go sit down, but we have to teach them that there is some ability in a disability. Right. So we have to get them acclimated that, yes, you are different, but with the right with the right resources and education, you can still be productive in society.
Exactly. And we said earlier, it's just the processing of information. And because of that, overstimulus is an issue. Right. So it's not so much that, we may not want them to come to something. It's just understanding that if it's a lot of people, a lot of sound, loud sound, it's not going to be a comfortable environment for them, because that's just going to be too much stimulus coming all at once. And it can be very agitating for someone who is on the spectrum. And that's where the awareness comes in. Because sometimes people will say, well, why don't you bring, and I'm like, because I understand. We talk about it before I came to the event, and he processed and was like, I don't want to put myself through that. And I got to respect that. Right.
But I've learned, you see my son, he carries a backpack. So when I go somewhere, he has a little backpack that has his headphones in it, his art supplies, whatever, his juice, whatever it is going to calm him down. And I know if we're going somewhere too overstimulating, he knows, okay, this is enough. Let me put my headphones on. So I have to explain to people, it's not that he's ignoring you and listen to music. He puts the headphones in so to kind of drain out the noise. So he's learned himself, knowing his comfort levels on it. And then he's also knowing how to self-treat. Okay, this is overstimulating to me. Let me drown out the noise so that my mom or my brother can enjoy their time. So he has learned, okay, because his brother was an athlete, so we were always all over the place. Okay. He always asked for headphones. I'm like, what do you need headphones for? But then I learned he was putting him in his ears to block out the noise, because it would get really noisy in the games. So I learned now, okay, just purchase him some headphones, keep an extra pair in the car. And then I was at our girlfriend's church. She's accustomed to my son, and I said, okay, we're going to be in church service, leave the headphones out. She said, "Oh no, he needs headphones. It's getting loud." So she had made somebody bring some headphones on. So just being accustomed to, they're going to come out, but teaching them also resources. That's why I'm teaching parents to teach your child, and then they can teach you what's comfortable for them.
Yes, that's just amazing. Now, I know that most recently, I want you to share a little bit of information about this uh this awareness event. And this happened just last month, correct?
Yes. Okay. So what I did is, because mental health. This is how I view this. Let me go back. My son, he has a disability, and this is my feeling as a mother of an Afro-American son that now stands 6'3", who is a foot taller than his mother. If we don't give them resources now and get them the help that they need now, and to educate the community, when people see him in this society, the first thing they see is a tall black male, and they may not want to react to him. So I did a big mental health forum so that I can educate the community, the law enforcement, the political, the educators, the parents, on how to react when they see things. And we have to learn to take the stigma off of mental health, so that we can get the resources and help that is needed. So the forum that I did last month is geared towards children with special needs, but we also had to look at two folds, three folds. The kids that have special needs, there's also that mental health piece in there that we don't always address. We just label that part. They have autism, but then there's a mental health piece. Then the next thing that we don't address is their caregivers, like the grandparents, the mom, the dad, the aunt. Those people also need to have a mental health self-care breakdown too, because they're caring for somebody that may not always communicate properly. And I did this for them because I want to educate the community that there are resources out there for them to get the guidance that they need. And I brought in a lot of people from different sectors. I had a politician there. I had his social worker. I had one of his teachers. I had my cousin. She's a therapist. I had two pastors there, because we also needed the educational background, the political background, the community background, and then we need to have the parents there so that we can just, all these entities, educate the forum, and they can bring questions to us. And then I'm planning another resource for where, with those questions and concerns, bring those resources to the community so that they have them. I'm looking at doing that in August. So they have them. So when school starts back, we are equipping our parents, equipping the community, and also equipping the educators. Sometimes you're going to school and you're educated in the field, but I also hold a degree in special ed. But I take a different tone. Like my girlfriend, she said she has a doctorate in it. She said, "But you're actually a mother." That didn't register with me, because I'm thinking I just have a master's degree. She has a doctorate. She said, "But you walk in this journey every day."
Yeah, yeah. And when you mention resources for parents, there's so many more people that I feel are bringing awareness and being advocates now than from the time of discovery for me, which my son is 24. So let's even go back then 23 years ago, okay, when he's one, and I'm noticing that something's needed right then,
Right.
actually. And so I'm like just out here trying to just focus on helping him, that not realizing I need some help. And so I really struggled for a long time, pretty much alone, the whole journey, because I had nowhere for parents to go. And I'm just making sure that he is so successful. So I love the fact that you said we're actually looking at the caregivers as well and giving them some support through this journey, because there were so many times, and I just know as moms, I think we sometimes are hard on ourselves. At least I know I can be. And I'm like, I'm failing him. I don't know what I'm doing. How can I help? And all this kind of stuff, And it's not until, I get to this point and then people tell me, no, you did a great job. You're doing a great job. And so it's so important, parents and caregivers, that you connect yourself with other people who kind of can understand this journey, and you support one another throughout it. So thank you for that piece of the awareness. The other part that I'm just curious about the whole entire forum, we talked about the law enforcement. That was my other concern because the recluse time, how they can build up this wall and not be able to communicate and literally shut down, not looking at, no eye contact, and just done, like this wall just appeared. How are you going to really, I guess, get that across to these different entities? Have you had success with that?
I have had success with it. I was at an event in the city, and my son, he was standing on the other side of me, and I was talking to somebody. By that time, a police officer had walked up to him and was holding a conversation with him. I panicked because my son was not looking at him, was not paying him any attention, but he was just answering the question. So my heart just fluttered. I went, oh wait, and I went to, he's artistic. So he said, I knew the signs. Our sergeant, his son, is artistic, so I knew those signs. But as a mother, just the blink of an eye, the police was standing there, and he was talking to him because I guess he was intrigued by the shirt he had on and the books and things. So he came over and started talking to him. So I explained to the cop, I am really nervous about him. He said, you know what? Your son, because I see that you have him out and about, he was able to answer the basic questions for me. And he said, you've done a good job, Mom.
Awesome.
And I'll just say this, and this is no pun intended. He was a Caucasian cop, and he treated my son so nice. He was talking to him, and he was telling me he had sons, and then my son told me he likes art and everything. So we do have those police officers out there that have that experience and that they are caring. I just want to be able to reach more people and train more parents and let parents know that there are more resources out there, because I've been on this journey for 13 years. And there are resources now that I still don't know that are coming to me. So I want to be able to empower parents where the struggles and trial and error I went through, that they don't have to go through that. Because I see a lot of parents, they're just lost and they just don't deal with their kids, and their kids are off somewhere playing a video game or just sleeping or just eating. But I want to just let parents know, like my son, he creates video games, he writes books with the help of my brother, that if you educate your child in the public, they can be successful, but it's up to us to make sure that they have the resources that's needed. So my foundation was started because I want to be able to help my son to build friendships, and the parents to be able to have a safe haven to bring people. So now it expanded into where I'm out educating the community, doing mental health forums, doing resource fairs, because those are so much needed. I tell people, I started my foundation. It was not for any fame or fortune. It was me as being a Black mom of an Afro-American son living with a disability, making sure that, and I'll just say, I'm at this age, I'm 50 years old. He's 17. So I have to look at my age and his age. So I want to make sure, and he has 4 brothers that I know will take care of him, and we have a strong support thing. But I want to make sure I was empowering him with resources. I looked at the disability. I said, we need to start researching resources for the kids. And I want to just make sure that we have what we need. And you, as the caregivers, sometimes we need to just make sure we're taking care of ourselves.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. I'm put a pin next to a couple things that you said, and I would like to digest that a little bit more. Family. The awareness within the family for me, because this is all new. It's not like I had a book on this is how you do as a parent with an autistic child. So I didn't want family to treat them any different than all of the other kids in the family. So I opted really not to say anything.
Oh, okay.
Which in hindsight wasn't the best thing for some members, because they took it personally, thinking like he just didn't like him, didn't want to talk to him, didn't, or was disrespectful, How did you, were you just verbal all the time with the family about it? I want people to see, and I'm being transparent because I just want to throw out, there is no manual first to be a parent, period. Right. So now you're adding on this additional layer. I would say in hindsight, I should have shared this information of awareness with my family. How did you approach it within your family outside of your sons, of course, knowing, but the extended family?
Well, you know what? as a mother, first I had to process it. See, I have two biological sons. They have three other brothers by their dad, by his first marriage. So me and my husband, we had the two boys. So I had to process it first because it was mental on me. Knowing, okay, my first son there was nothing wrong with it. Now I have this baby that needs these resources. So mentally, I had to get myself together before I said anything to anybody. That was number one. But once my sister is a social worker, my brother, he works with children and he's a pastor. And then I have the best friend in work. She's a social worker. And then I have my parents. My mother was the one who saw that something was wrong. So after I got myself together, I was able to share it with the family. But then I shared it with them so that they wouldn't be looking at him as like, ooh, something's wrong. So that they'll know when we come around, he acts up, this is what it is. And I think I was open about it. And I learned to be open about it after Ratanji got out of the shame of me having a son with autism. Because that is something to deal with as a mom.
Yeah. And what I would say to people, and for me, I think it is really you kind of might go through the steps of grief only because for the time in which you carried and delivered and all this in your mind, of course you have all of this, my child go be this and do this and do this, and then you have to kind of bury that child that was in your head. And then get to understand and know and educate and find resources about the one you have, And so, sometimes you find these guilt moments, I call them, for me, my guilt moments, when I'll be like, oh my God, because you have these days, don't get me, you have these days and you be like, oh, I just wish he was like, everybody else. And then I'll be like, okay, but then do I want him to be in the streets acting crazy? Do I want him to potentially be souped up in a gang somewhere? Do I want him to be out there hoeing with girls? And so it's just like you kind of think about all what could potentially come with this, again, normal, and realize, no, I have just the perfect child that was a gift given to me, and I happen just to have a bad day. That's resources. I'm sorry, were you gonna say something?
No.
Okay, resources is another place I put a plug in it. My son's 24, yours is 17. Even though we were learning and still finding resources, what I find is the majority of the resources are still from, infancy to 18. Then what? Now what?
So now me and my business partner, we're still in the development stages of this. We're looking to start, and hopefully we can get it off the ground by next summer, having workshops for the kids, the boys, because my sons, I have boys. The children with special needs between 18 and 24, because they're the ones that get lost in the crap shuffle. I wanted to start teaching them life skills, cooking skills, basic skills that would get them through life. Like my son, he has basic skills. He can get himself dressed, give himself a bath. If he's hungry, he knows how to go fix him something to eat. If he needs something, he knows how to call the resources for it. So I want to start teaching other kids and teaching them how to dress themselves, how to look up resources for themselves, and just giving them that if they want to be an artist, they can be an artist. If they want to do gaming, they can do gaming. And then letting them know that, hey, we're here to help you by having the resources and the people on site to actually work with them. Because I have a lot of friends, kids that they can go to school until they're 26, but have you equipped them that when they leave school in special education after 26, do they have the basic life skills, washing clothes, ironing clothes, fixing them something to eat, hygiene?
Girl, but Tongie, you got you got the quote unquote norm kids don't got them skills either. So it's needed.
Well, but those are things that's dear to my heart. And I just want to make sure that we're just equipping our special education population. Well, I call them ability and the disability population to be successful, because they can be successful. They just have to be given the right tools.
Definitely. Because let me show you what success looks like.
Yes.
OMG. So if you guys didn't catch what Ratanji said kind of earlier on, because she kind of just talked about it, and it was almost as if it was just, and being an author. Yeah, but that is huge. So her son, here we go, is an author. Tell us briefly, an overview of the books. We have My Dog Dan and The Case of the Missing Cupcake.
Well, it was a battle, and he started drawing pictures in kindergarten. So me and the teacher and the aide would go back and forth. So during the pandemic, he developed these along with my brother, because my brother does author. They put together some books, children's books, so that the kids could be able to read something, and they were colorful and they were popped. They're not a lot of wordy books, but these are books that he did. These are his first 2 books. He's working on another book. But these are to let the parents know and the community know there are skills. We just have to pull them out of our kids.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And I forgot about the books, but he's working on some other things. He does gaming as well too.
Awesome. So very proud. Now this is leading it in because we're like 7 minutes out. And of course, I said this will be perfect for letting people know how they can connect with you. You are a motivational speaker. You are encouraging an advocate for mental health and all of these phenomenal things and what you're doing. How can people connect with you? How can they volunteer if they want to be a part of Hezekiah Kidz Incorporated? Please let us know.
Okay, they can reach out to me on Facebook, Tongie Kendrix-Bailey, that's just my full name, or they can go to the Hezekiah Kidz Incorporated page, or they can reach me at 248-671-3177, and they can book me if they would like me to come in, work with the parents or the kids, or do self-care workshops, or even advocate for their kids, and also do mentoring for kids with special needs, or any other youth that you may have. So they can reach out to me those ways, and my website is being developed now. So if they check back with Hezekiah Kidz, it should be up in about 2 weeks.
Awesome. I love it. Now a little bit for you, Ratanji. Okay, first of all, I wanted to make sure we got through all that information. So as you saw in the deals for consumer members, we had Metro Plug Podcast, which is Charles McKay. And you guys know he's been on Get to Know Bob. And that is how Ratanji and I met, was at a celebration for Charles's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at a Bob facility as well for that. So we were just supporting. So what Charles does is some amazing networking opportunities for business owners. So you guys definitely, you see the kind of caliber of people Charles introduces in the room. So the next time he has an event, I'm talking about it, consumer members, you're getting an extra discount for coming. So make sure you take advantage of that, because you'll meet people like Ratanji, for example.
And I'm blessed that I met you.
Thank you. And it just happened that we talked in the interest way. And then when I came and sat down, we were at the same table. So it was
right.
like meant to be. Now, with everything you're doing, OMG, how do you stay encouraged to keep going?
I look at my son. My son is my inspiration. He's my motivation. And I want to make sure that he is empowered. I have one son, he's in Alabama State, and that son told me, because I used to be really soft with Hezekiah. He said, "No, Mom, he got hands. He played, messed up the room. He gonna help me clean it up." So my motivation is to him. I want to make sure that he is empowered to keep going, and that he can survive on his own without his parents, or that he's able to be in society by himself.
Gotcha. Now, this
at some point they want to be on their own.
I know. And that's really, I'm going to emphasize that part, because what I said is, we don't know. Only thing we know, we were born and we know we're going to die. We don't know when that's going to happen. So while I have breath, my concern was making sure my son could be independent.
Right.
That was my focus, that he can be independent, and has not gone anywhere from that. Right. And it's very, very important for both my children, but especially I wanted to make sure my son felt comfortable, confident, that he could be independent. Now, I call this kind of tea time.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you do an awful lot. So I'm just curious, is there any tea that you can spill on this episode?
Make sure that you take some time out for yourself. Just make sure you take that self-care time out for yourself.
I
Make
love
sure you
it.
spend time with your friends. Make sure you know, going out to dinner. Just doing something to relax your mind. Because a relaxed mind and a freed mind and a social mind empowers the kids. Sometimes you just need to step away for a minute
Mm-hmm,
and then step back.
mm-hmm,
Just make sure you
mm-hmm.
take a couple minutes for yourself. But as you
Gotcha.
see, I also include my son. So I take my son out around my friends, and they've gotten used to him. If I come somewhere around, where's Hezekiah? Oh.
So
it's
it's like, I just wanted some time by myself with you.
It's just, you know what? It's just taking care of yourself and taking care of those people and making sure you let them know that they're appreciated for helping you on this journey. Because it is a journey.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. Okay, so Vertanji, what book is currently on your nightstand or that you have recently read or would highly recommend reading?
It is Shalonda Buckman. I'm the Advocate, the Ardent Advocate. So I'm currently reading that.
Okay, the Advocate. Gotcha.
And it's actually it's a good book because she talks to parents on how to parent and advocate for their kids.
Gotcha. That sounds like a very good read. Thank you.
It's an excellent read, and this is my second time reading through it.
Oh, okay. Thank you definitely then for sharing it. Guys, the Advocate. Okay.
Now my tea is I just keep praying and just keep relaxing and meditating.
I know, right? That is the perfect combination to get through what we call life.
Right. And I'm sitting here thinking it's only Wednesday, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to get it together.
That's how this week you saw how I opened up the show. It just been one of those weeks.
It's just one of those days for something, a week, or
for me it's been one of those weeks. I just can't get it together, and it's okay. It is okay.
Right.
It happens.
Life
now
happens.
We've talked about a lot of different things tonight. Is there anything that you want to make sure you mention tonight that we haven't already discussed?
You know what? I'll say this, and I'll just be transparent. It took a lot for his dad to get adjusted to him having autism. Once he saw that we had the support, he jumped in. But I'm just really thankful that I have the support of my parents, my siblings, that they're really there, and I have a strong support friends, and my friendship circle is building. So I thank God for that.
Yeah, and I can somewhat relate. It was more so that I didn't think my husband needed to kind of come to grips, for a lack of a better expression, with it. But most recently, in the last year since my son has been working, my husband was the one taking him and picking him up. So now he get this intimate time with him. And so when my son was going through a cycle of needing to, have extra support outside of us for a therapist, someone he could talk through for what he was dealing with and going through at this particular stage, because life is a stage for all of us.
It is.
My husband freaked out. He was just like, okay, we got to help him. We got to. And I'm like, dude, this is not new. He's had the same exact thing when he was in elementary, and then it happened again when he was in high school. And it's, of course I'm going to give him the resources like I did then, but because this was the first time he was close and personal with it, and to see how he reacted, I was just like, wow.
But there's a difference in when they're little with a disability and when they're an adult with a disability.
And that's true. Now, definitely is true.
I look up at my son like, ooh, you saw. You met Hezekiah. He's a big guy.
Yes. But I guess I'm just saying, because of the resources, I've seen the withdrawal before. And where we had to get through the withdrawal, where we have to link them up with a therapist or group therapy, and where we have to kind of work back to getting it into a balanced place again. I've done that very intimately more than once. This was the very first intimate time my husband saw it, and he freaked out. And I was just like, and he kept saying, when you gonna do
Well, women handle things differently than men. Women handle things
true.
differently.
That's true.
We're built for that.
I'm just like, well, where were you at for the last couple of times when he went recluse?
Those are some days. I feel like that some days. I'm like, okay, I've been here the whole 17 years. You just catching on. But I just feel that God had given me purpose, mission, and divine order to do this, to educate parents, because there are other parents out there that are struggling.
Yes.
We struggle. There are parents out there that they are afraid to reach out for resources.
Exactly.
And we just have to take the stigma off and let them know we're here for each other. And my thing is to know I got you.
I love it. I love it. So, guys, here's the thing. Get excited because, you know, Tongie and I are going to be able to, I'm going to support, you know, that's what Deals with Bob's going to link up and do some collaborations of support for awareness. And this is always has been dear to my heart because I too have been a mom. And I can't wait for where we are able to share some future information with you on some things that are going to be coming soon as we continue to spread awareness and support our children out there and our families out there that need it. So thank you guys for watching. I want to make sure that you share this, really share this episode, because people need to know that they're not alone and there's no reason why they need to be alone or try to do it alone.
Quickly, Sonia, my next event is going to be the third Saturday and the fourth Saturday of this September.
Okay, make sure I get all the information to be able to promote it. Yes, and remember, guys, that's the pledge to the Support 7 Bob pledge. I told you one way of supporting Bob is to volunteer. So when I start talking about this information, I already know Ratangie's not going to turn down volunteers. So now you guys get ready, because next week, remember, don't show up on Wednesday. If you do, I won't be there. We have a new night for next week. We're going to be speaking with Dr. Eddie Connor on Thursday, the 25th of May. Same time, different day. And then we're going to that following week, pick it right back up on our Wednesday as we close out the month with Cheryl Lynn Pope. And we're going to be talking about the Motor City Princess Ball that's coming up. Can you get excited? Yes, our princesses right here will be celebrated. If you have not already done so, go on over to our YouTube channel and click that red subscribe button. We need subscribers, not for me, but for you, so that you can continue to see all the phenomenal Bobs that are in our community and the phenomenal things that they're doing. The more subscribers that go up, the further reach that we can have. And believe me, when I talk about our communities, this is an opportunity to encourage from different cities all across the U.S. because they'll see that it can be done. This is inspiring, and that's our goal here at Get to Know Bob, to inspire other people to have impact, to change our community. So I'm not just talking about geographically, I'm talking about globally, our communities. And it only happens when we can get you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, I just want to truly thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. I told you I was a little tired when it began, but I was really stoked with this conversation. Again, thank you for Tongie so much for coming on today. This will not be the last time she's here. We probably will bring her back after that event in September. And so we can see what all we can do as we will be entering then into a new school year.
Right.
I am your host, Sonia Weaver, and thank you for tuning in to Get to Know Bob. As always, I encourage you to spend with purpose, because your dollars, they do matter, and deal with Bob. Have a great night. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.